Okay, so this is the new moon in tropical Gemini, I believe, sidereal Taurus. And I'm asking questions for the collective, asking for insight, wisdom, guidance, things that we would need to know, things that would be good for us to know. Bless my eyes with the appropriate and needed information. Allow me to be a clear and unbiased vessel through which these messages are delivered. Okay. First things first. Let's get into it. Okay. This is interesting. This is talking about people needing to be self-starters. Fundamentally here, there's a lot of unrest, social unrest, societal unrest, agitation. This talks about people being agitated and people not knowing where to direct their energies this moon. There may also be a lot of positive celebrations, noise outside. Like when I say noise, I mean like the weekend might really be popping. Lots of dancing, lots of sweating, lots of carnal activities because people have these emotions and they don't know what to do with them. People are pent up. It's like when you have to let your hair down is the imagery that I'm getting around this. Letting your hair down, letting yourself kind of be free and feel and sit in those emotions. And so this talks about being a self-starter and not letting your negative emotions get the best of you. This is going to be a very social moon for some of you. Like I said, I see you guys outside. I see you moving and shaking, socializing, networking. This also shows that social life, that social energy, if you can keep your mood in check, is going to be your money maker. A lot of us are looking at the economy feeling down. We're looking and we're feeling, especially if we're very deep in those social media circles, there's lots of conversations here around lack. But these cards are really pointing to the opposite. It's talking about local community, spending money in local community, circulating local dollars, helping each other. And by helping each other, doing business with each other, doing business amongst our neighborhood, business in our communities, business in our crew. You know, so if your friend does hair and one of your friends does nails, or if one of your friends has a business or a restaurant, maybe they're going to hire musicians that you know to work in that restaurant, so on and so forth. But this talks about the power of community, the power of locality. Seven of Hearts is a card that people often read as romantic or passionate love. There's definitely a lot of love, lust in these cards, as well as money in abundance all around. If you're in the Atlanta area or you're in any of the World Cup cities, this is a good time to get outside, because this King of Clubs is talking about ladies, leave your man at home. The club is full of ballers and they pockets full grown. Like, everybody is outside looking to spend some money this weekend. Just got paid Friday night is very much the energy here. Now, with that said, you know where they say more money, more problems. Be careful that you're not caught up in a hello. Here we go. Back to these clubs. As much as I'm seeing all this money in here, there's lots of entanglements in here. It's saying people are coming in hot. They're ready to spend their money. They're ready to, make it shake, ready to shake off some of that stress that we've been feeling. But all these clubs point to violence. They point to loss in some ways as well, that if you let all of this good time get ahead of you, you will quickly be separated from your money, quickly be separated from your funds, and quickly be separated from the relationships that you sought to build. And so this is really a moon to have your fun, but be careful to keep things in balance, because wars are still on the horizon. The difficulties that we are seeing in the economy, the difficulties that we are seeing in the world, for a lot of us, those wars aren't ceasing. And so this is very much a moon to have as much balanced chaos as you can, as much chaotic fun as you can, while still remembering that you do have to wake up when the weekend is over, okay? When the new moon hysteria wears off, when, the party is over, it's still you and your responsibilities, okay? Still you and your responsibilities, okay? All right, so I want to talk more about, now that we've got a general overview for this moon, advice. How are they going to have their fun and still enjoy their life? How are they going to have their cake and eat it too? How are they going to keep this chaotic energy in balance while still reaping the benefits? We want our people outside enough to have fun, outside enough to make the relationships that they need to make, but not so outside that it jeopardizes their well-being. So give us advice on that. What does that look like for my babies? Ooh, it looks like managing your money well. It looks like staying on top of your spiritual work, but also not being afraid of a disagreement. Don't let people just sell you the world. People might say, oh, this is the price, this is the price. You're going to have to negotiate a bit. You're going to have to know when people are trying to hustle you. Lots of diamonds and lots of clubs in this spread. Know when people are willing to make it difficult for you to get the best of a situation. Know when people are going to hustle you, especially behind some money. When people are going to try to little girl you or little bro you. So you may come into situations where people do not give you the grace or the leniency. You're trying to get in the club, he letting everybody in for free, you got to pay a cover. You're trying to get a new apartment, it's first last security deposit and everything. You're trying to get a car, they don't have any specials or any deals, baby, you got to pay that. Your insurance is sky high, nobody is cutting any breaks. So when you are managing your money this new moon season, you need to move like what you can pay for is what you can pay for. Don't overestimate. Don't say, oh, they'll let me in, or oh, they'll do this, or oh, they'll do me that favor. This talks about a season where your money has to be green as it's green. Don't try to, finesse based on relationship or charm when it comes to dealing with strangers. And if you are, do a lot of glamour work, because people are actively kind of, looking to get over in this season, looking to get over on people. So as especially doing major business deals, I also think that we're coming into a retrograde, if I'm not mistaken. A retrograde shadow period, I believe so. So that also might be why this energy of people trying to hustle you is coming up, right? Like of people saying one thing, but it getting miscommunicated, or saying one thing and downright meaning something else, for sure. This also talks about explosive relationships and explosive around women relationships. Now this talks about like fights over feminine people in your life, also issues caused with or around feminine people in your life, miscommunications. This could be romantic, this could also be familial, but this talks about possessiveness, this talks about jealousy, this talks about miscommunications, and it talks about loss of some kind. So in all of your dealings with the women in your life in this situation, especially as Jupiter moves away from Venus, Venus moves away from Jupiter, everyone has their opinions about that conjunction. I will just say that Jupiter is not always a benefic. People love to talk about Jupiter like a benefic, but in my experience, Jupiter can absolutely be a malefic. Here nor there, as we're going through these transitions, watch your words with the women in your life. Have tough conversations. Don't back down from those conversations. But the astrology is pointing to a bit of tete-a-tete, which I understand and can attest to. Keep yourself at the center. Don't be pressured into things. When it comes to social events, when it comes to fun, trust your intuition and your gut. Like, there are things going on outside, so if you get that gut feeling of like, I don't need to be there, or when you feel like, oh, it's time to leave the party, this is a season to trust that intuition. This is a season, if you are looking to build a relationship, to really make sure that you all are equally yoked when it comes to principles and finances. They talk about you don't just choose a person based on what they have materially, although if you ain't got enough money, no fun. You see what I'm saying? But that you also make sure that you're not just a sucker for money, you're not just a sucker for material goods or lifestyle. This person at their core has to have values that you and your ancestors would be proud of. This is, I feel like, a message coming in specifically for those of you looking for romantic relationships and things of that sort, that this person's heart and their principles need to be right, and what they're trying to build need to be on the same page of you as you and your ancestors. So if you've been praying about romantic love, you've been praying about partnership, partnership, you've been praying about marriage, especially long-term things like marriage or partnership, it is important that you are articulating to your spirit team what it is that you're looking for, that you're doing investigative work around karmic blockages in the lineage so that you all can be stronger together. And if you're calling a person into your life, that same thing, right? Like, what is it that is important to your ancestral lineage that a partnership brings to you? Because at the end of the day, long-term partnership is often about legacy, right? So that's the word that's coming up here. Are there ideas of legacy, building legacy the same as yours? And are you all willing to put in the blood, sweat, tears, and spiritual labor, whatever that is, whether that's the prayer closet, whether that's the juju lady, whether that's whatever it is that you do? This talks about a season of making sure that anyone comes into your life can reciprocate your energy spiritually, financially, and emotionally. No free rides. No free rides. Any last things, tips, advice? Because I'm going to keep this nice and short. It doesn't need to be forever. The people can get the gist. Any last things that the people need to know for this new moon? And then, y'all say no. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys my thoughts, ideas, suggestions, okay? I personally feel that this is a good new moon to make sure your house is spiritually clean, and then as the moon grows, you can bring things into your home, decorations, a photo on the wall that represent where you want to take the energy of your life. So something that you can look at repeatedly in this moon cycle. It could be, if you know that you want to move to Paris, that you get a photo of the Eiffel Tower. It could be, if you know that you want to start a business, that you put a little thing on your work desk that says CEO or, world's best entrepreneur. If you know you want to win an award of some kind, maybe you get a tiny little Oscar or Grammy and put it on your nightstand, or a photo, or a Tony, whatever that is. Something that in your subconscious, as the moon grows, is going to allow this sentiment and this manifestation to grow. Old conjure says that whatever you show to the new moon will grow. So as the moon becomes visible in the sky, it is common to take some money out of your pocket and show it to the moon and ask for that money to grow. That's a simple and easy ritual for those of you who are looking for some good old school conjuration, old school hoodoo that's simple, that doesn't require a lot. If you are into doing any type of spiritual workings, the new moon cycle is good for money works. It's good for planting anything that needs to grow as well. If you're growing your own food, shout out to y'all. But yeah, show some money to the moon, set your intentions with the moon, bring something into your home that you can look at that can reflect that energy back to you as the moon cycles grow and change. And I will see y'all soon. That's the new moon reading. That's the tea. Bye.